4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, hello. Hey, YouTube. Thank you for being here. Today I have YouTube. I have God is just be which one? God is just be over here, and God is just be healthy over here. My backup camera over here. Hello, everybody. Could you tap the screen and let all my supporters know that I'm live? And if you're new here, welcome. We are going to be talking about consciousness. We're going to talk about energy, all things of energy and frequency. Is my screen the only one blacked out? I don't know. Scroll up out of the live and then try to scroll back in, Mel. Thank you for being here, Melly Mel. And see if that worked for you. And see if you back into the light. Mel in the darkness. Melly Mel in the darkness. So before I get started about talking about this and educating people about this here, I want to let you know that I have a course called the Woke as F blood type connection course. And in it teaches you about your bloodline. First, you would need to know your blood type. To find out your blood type, you will go to my website, link on the screen, saltoftheearthpub.org, link in bio too. You go there, the first red button will say, how do I find out my blood type? You click on that and you order your blood type kit, the Elden at home kit. You get your kit, prick your ring finger, find out 3 to 5 minutes what your blood type is in the privacy of your own home. The plasma in your blood and the water that you're going to put on the card in the 4 circles is going to form an image. And if the image looks like 4 copper pennies, that means you're going to be a blood type O negative, the original bloodline in the physical reality. Blood type is so very important as it pertains to what I'm about to jump into now, because that blood type stuff, as it pertains to your health, is important for you to get to know too, God. That's your avatar self. That's your body. That's where the kingdom of God lives. This is what equivalent to in the biblical text that it's supposed to be the house of worship, but you turned it into a den of thieves when you make it chaotic with diabetes, high blood pressure, gout, and all of these sickness and diseases and disharmonies for the lack of you putting your thoughts together, with your emotions together, with your behavior together, putting all of your energy together to turn this blood or aching to turn this water into wine, to purify this blood and activate your dormant DNA. So that's where it all starts. And the Woke is F conscious blood type connection course. There are meal plans there. If you don't know your blood type, that's there on the website. There are personalities, the worst job for your blood type, who you are, what you came forward to do, where your trauma lies, how to heal your trauma. All of that is there on the website. I left that for you. That's where you start. A lot of you today will probably be a little lost in the sauce, but listen, try to open up your mind to the idea of expanding it to higher consciousness. So before we begin, could I get a yes if you agree to this? Yes, I will come temporarily while you are on this live out of my limited way of thinking in order to expand my consciousness to a higher level. Can I get a yes? Can I get a yes? You need to, I need you to be in agreement for this here. If you're scared, if the answer is no, this is your moment to get up out of here. Away from me. I know you're not. If you're scared, say so. Bye. If you don't want to come out of your limited box, I don't care about the numbers. I care about your soul. I care about you knowing yourself and you tapping into higher realms of consciousness. Yes or no? Yes. Hey, Miss Grateful. Rita says yes. Coretta says yes. Yeah. David says yes. Okay. Beautiful. Katina, thank you. It didn't help, but I was just listening to me. Thank you. Okay. It didn't help. Oh, you still black? Oh, baby. It's gonna come. It's gonna work out for you. Hey, BMW, thank you. Oh, BWW. Well, look, I'm thinking about the call BMW. It's BWW. Okay, so we're tapping into outside of our box and outside of our limited way of thinking, as you know it, is going to be a boundless universe. And outside of your limited box that you was just in a couple of seconds ago, and hold on to your box. You could jump back into your box when the live over if that's what you choose to do with your mind, God. but just come out of it for a little while so you can see that there's a boundless universe where all things exist. But they all exist predicated on 4 types of energy, the 4 elements. That's the only elements that are here in this realm. And so the elements that are here in this realm, they're part of you. They're an extension of you, and you exist in this realm once you take care of your body, aching to activate your dormant DNA, purify your bloodline, and it allows you to wake up to higher levels of consciousness. But keep in mind, this picture that I show up here is a story behind this picture behind you. It ain't just that it's there because it look cute. The story behind the picture is that we all stem from one spirit, what we call God. Okay? And stemming from this spirit, we'll use this here as spirit that we all stem from. There are 2 sides of ourselves because we want to experience ourselves on 2 sides. So in this realm, there's an illusion of separation. There's an illusion that there's yin and yang. Mm-hmm. There's darkness versus light. Mm-hmm. There's good versus evil. But guess what? Don't get that twisted. You're not in the box no more. That ain't real. Hello? When you outside of the box, you realize, oh, wait, hold up. It looked like it was 2 sides, but it's all one thing. All is God having a human experience. So that means nothing can exist but God. So being that nothing can exist but God, God is operating by the elements, or the so-called, in the book of Revelations, when they're talking about the 4 corners, the 4 elements that govern this land of this matrix. And they are air, water, fire, and earth. That's it. Air, water, fire, earth. No other. No other. And you put them together and you have the totality of God. And these elements show up in people because people have these elements. They're made of these elements. As a matter of fact, if we think about elements, we think about the periodic table of elements. There was just a chart showing you. Showing you the expression of you within you. You just laid out in chart everything that exists. That's part of your essence. But we're going to stay focused on the 4 elements, because we're learning about tarot. We're learning about ourselves through tarot. And in the tarot cards, if you've never seen any, these are mine right here. I'll hold it up for all of the all 4 of the cameras can see. These are my cards here. And inside of these cards, there's only gonna be 4 elements plus you the person. And so it says some of these cards inside of this deck, this is a deck of 78 cards. And in some of these cards gonna be about your spiritual journey, of where you are within your spiritual journey. But then there's 4 other sets of these cards that's going to teach you about the 4 elements that you should be manipulating in the physical reality to get to the Christ consciousness state of being along your spiritual journey. That's all that exists in these cards. So there's no boogeyman, there's no devil inside of these cards. These cards have meaning, but they mean things to you. This is how spirit or source speaks to you. Church would tell you, don't fool around with this here. But remember, we're not in the box no more. I asked you to say yes about coming out of the box. And being that you come out of the box and you understand that the only thing outside of the box is God, then there's nothing to fear. Then you understand that everything in this realm represents the totality of God. The energies, the 4 elements or energies of this realm are energies of God. Nothing else. Ain't no boogeyman, ain't no pitchfork, ain't no so-called devil out to get you. No, you on a journey with 4 elements. And every day through thought, through behavior, through emotion, through energy, you're just manipulating elements. And so when people are showing you different things, I'm glad you came forward for me. Hi there, Candy. Hey, when people are showing you different things or giving you certain readings when you're doing tarot, they're pretty much telling you the energies that's present. to make certain situations be the way that you really want them to be. They're pretty much telling you the gifts that are emerging from you, or maybe the lessons that or for you to be learning, or maybe the state of the energetic realm that you're in right now. Like, what's the reading of this realm right now? What's the reading or the energy of this day like right now? All right. And it'll tell you about you based upon where you are. So when you see people, and we're going to get into reading, but I want you all to know the foundation of why I'm doing this here. Don't just sign up for stuff and you don't know the reason why. The reason why is because our inner being, our spirit, our ancestors, our Akashic records, the Lamb Book of Life, or whatever you call this non-physical, is assisting you, all of us, so we can tap into frequencies or energies to become the Christ conscious one in the physical reality. 'Tis the season. I hope you're ready. So in an effort to become the Christ conscious one, sometimes we have to ask, because we're asking anyway, true thought. Sometimes we have to ask. God never asks himself a question that he or she don't already know the answer to. Sometimes we have to ask, inner being, show me da da da. What does da 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 feel like? What should I be learning, inner being? What is a gift that is emerging from me, inner being? Sometimes we have to ask these questions. And to get our answers, we use these set of tools here because they're in alignment with all of the 4 elements. So when you see somebody dealing with cards, first and foremost, it doesn't matter. I want to use my words tactfully. It doesn't matter how they exude their energy, because there's somebody for everybody. They could be listening or be a little trap, grab, catch the wall type frequency. They could be a more conservative kind of like frequency, maybe, I guess, like, little homely kind of like frequency. They could be, it don't matter what they pass. They could be been through hell, Yale, jail. It don't matter. As long as they are asking the right questions, clearing the energy of these cards, using the full deck, and reading the cards based upon their inner beingness, or based upon, because sometimes these will come with little books, based upon what they read in the book, that don't matter who they are. That's very important. So, because I want y'all to get out of the idea of judging people based upon their love. Now, some people are wrong in the sense that they can't hear their inner being, so they just doing stuff just to do it. But those people still aren't wrong, because they're still the 4 elements, is what I'm getting at. 4 elements that run this land. So they can't just make the cards just pop and be in a certain row. Still, that card was predicated on the energy, the non-physical, that made it be the one that they flipped over. So that ain't gonna be the wrongness. It's just that maybe they're not really in tune, and they're trying to be braggadocious, and they want to do, they're just finding their way, and that happens sometimes in the journey. But pay attention to when you are getting a reading from somebody energetically, that this is one tool that is really important, because cleanliness is next to godliness, and I'm teaching you a God frequency of spirituality. Pay attention to the fact that these people need to be clearing the energy of their card. Last video on Thursday, we talked about how I let the clear quartz crystal sit on my card, how I put gray Celtic salt on my deck of card in a sense, because they're brand new now, and in the sense of clearing the energy. Even though they're brand new, they were touched in the manufacturing process by others, by even the postal man. They were touched and picked up energies along the way, because all things are energy, right? And so when I got them, I cleared the energy. So when you get readings, You make sure that the energy is being cleared from your reading in that previous energy reading that person had, because it's almost like going to the restaurant or fast food and you say, hey, I want something to eat, and the cashier, they like, okay, let me take your order, you want da da da, and they're hitting a button, they take your cash and they count the cash and they picking up the coin and they give you the change with the hands that handle dirty money, and then they say, wait, hold up, I'm about to turn around and get your food now. And with them same dirty hands, they pick it up, your food, and they putting it in the container. And then that same dirty hand, they before you came, maybe they digged in their nose, they digged in their ears, or they used the bathroom. Ain't no hand wherever wash. So now they picked up ass hands, food hands, money hands. There's this is energy. I'm breaking it down. All things are energy. So you want to make sure the cards are always clear. You want to be watching them cards, because you don't want to pick up a reading from a previous person that this person was reading before you. That's very important in this spiritual journey. So here's how you clear it. It don't have to be nothing major. Some people don't even use tools, but I put before me a couple of things that I want you to know, and I want you to watch me. When I begin to get to reading people, I want you to watch me so you could understand this. Right. Now understand this. Very, very important. And Miss Grateful says, all right. So some people, because they don't use tools, they'll just clear the energy. It's clear. Some people tapping, clear the energy. Some people, they'll probably use sound, clear the energy. But pay attention to the people who, if you ever get a reading, if they ain't clear, that's like they ain't washing their hands. And tenderness is next to godliness. So I have some tools on here. We're just clearing energy. Kind of like how people do sage. You know how people go around their house and they'll sage the house? They're just clearing energy. They're just clearing energy. All things are energy, frequency, and vibration. All right? Even with a bowl, a sound bowl, even if they just have a sound bowl available, they could clear the energy with sound. Pay attention to people clearing that energy, right? Okay. Outside of that, these cards, ain't no scared card. Ain't no scared card. Let me find it. I should have put it in the front. Wait, let me find it. Ain't no scary card in here. So we're going to get to what you all might think is the scariest of them all. The scariest of them all. And here we go. Since we out the box, we ain't scared, right? We understand that all is God, right? I'm learning, Goddess. Yeah. I want you to learn, baby. I want you to be as wise as a serpent, but yet as gentle as a dove. So look at this here. Look at this here. Look at this here. You see this? I'm going to bring it close to every live that I'm on. I'm going to bring it close. You see this here? Look at this image really, really well. I'm coming to the other ones. Look at this image. At the bottom, you see what that say? If the letters are backwards, it says the devil. You see this here? You see this here? This is a card out of the 78. I'm pulling out what I would think would be the one that might scare the church folk. I want you to look at this. I want you to look at this here. You see this here? This is a card. The devil. The devil card. Why did I pull up this one here? Because we came out of the box. We're not going to be limited with our mind. And so when I show you this here so-called devil card, tell me what you see outside of that devil. Do you see? Tell me what you see at the bottom. I know you see two people. Tune in on that. What do you see? What are those two people doing down there? Can you see those two people? Can you see? The devil. What are those people doing? Anybody? Is this something to be afraid of? Is this something to be afraid of? Anybody understand this here? Anybody know? Does this mean if this card came up, does this mean you're gonna die? Ooh, the devil gonna get you. Let's talk about what you scared of. Let's handle them fears, because I need you to be able to handle them fears. These other people come on this live and this here card come up and you scared. You scared. You shaking in your boots. So some people saying I can barely see it. Okay, so it's what we will call this so-called devil with the little pitchfork. It look like, and it looks as though he's kind of further back, and in front of him they got two people. They got what looks kind of like female or male energies, and then there's a chain. There's a chain that around actually the neck of one of the female neck, and then the chain also is around the male neck. You see the little chain right there, the chain. You see that? You see that? So this would be called a devil card, right? The devil. But if you pay attention and you hold this card and you look at this so-called devil that's supposed to be scary, you realize that, wait, hold up. The devil don't have these people bound. These people are actually free. They're not bound to the devil. They bound to one another. And if you were to be reading this particular card, and in reading this card, you'd be like, oh, that's the two sides of their own self. Oh, they think they're bound to something outside of them that's evil, but really it's just lower self and higher self being connected, not bound, connected. I mentioned this here card because I don't want you to be out there scared of yourself when any type of card comes up, because the card only comes up to let you know about a different expression of yourself for growth purposes, for the element purposes of getting to know yourself on the journey. There's purpose to all things. There's a season for all things underneath the sun. A time to live, a time to die. Yeah. A time to laugh, a time to cry. So this devil principle is part of you, is like part of yourself that you avoiding. Is all this card is saying, oh, I got a side of myself that I be avoiding sometimes. And so if the devil card was to come up, that means you have to work on that. This devil card could actually mean for you being so avoiding of yourself, of the other side of yourself, that now you're addicted to some type of drug. Now you're addicted to some type of behavior, depression, to alcoholism. That's the devil card. Because guess what? Who's the devil? You. If there's only two sides and all is God, one side of you is devil, and then other side of you is God. If you embrace this, you embrace the totality of understanding the God within you, and you create a union with yourself, and you don't judge yourself, and you're not hard on yourself. And you work on your, what they call the shadow realm of yourself, the part of you that have you addicted, the part of you that have you avoiding it because you want the world to see that you got it together. So if this card was to come forth in the reading, you ain't about to go to hell now. It's just telling you, well, hey, now is the season to let that other part, you're acting like you're in bondage, but you're not really in bondage. Just let that other part of you heal. Connect with the union of the other side of yourself so you can heal and you can represent the totality of God. Deal with that depression side of yourself so that you finally could have mental clarity. That's what this call will be saying to you. Are you all getting this here? Are y'all getting this? Like the movies that show the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other. Yes, you have two sides. Everything underneath the law of polarity represents your two-sidedness. So I wanted to show you that. But let me show you something else in these here chords here. Let me see. Oh, wait. Here's another one. Here's another one. Wait, I got to show you this one here. This one here kind of chaotic. This one look a little kind of, some of the cards look a little, but I'm telling you, I need you out your box for this. Here's another one. This here card represents, you getting it, Miss Rita? This here card represents the tower. Look at the tower. Look at the tower. People jumping out the tower. Look like the lightning has struck the tower. People falling out on the ground. Like, what's going on? What's going on with this in this tower? What's going on? It look a little chaotic. People falling down. But if you look really, really close, like, wait a minute. The tower. What is this? What is this telling me? Oh, it's telling me that I should be in tune with my emotions. It's telling me that I'm not invincible as it pertains to this so-called bad on this side. I ain't gonna always just get good. I'm gonna get the so-called good and the so-called bad. But when that so-called bad comes, I gotta make sure that I'm balancing my emotions, my energy and motion. Okay? That's very important. So there are 4 elements. Remember I was telling you about the 4 elements? Let me show you something. So in the 4 elements, one of the elements would be water. And so my cards have cups. Remember I told you that there are 4 elements, one of the elements being the emotional world. And I told you as it pertains to blood type, as it pertains to blood type, this is called the cups, cards that represent cups. This is representing water energy. So as it pertains to cups and water, that's your emotional world. These cards, anytime you get a card that have a cup on it, the cups are representing the emotional world. That's one of the elements, water. Water represents emotion. So the blood type, anybody know what blood type this here is bountiful with? I talk about it all the time. What blood type represents the emotional world? Represents these cards or the cups. Anybody know? Anybody know? Water. Come on, in religion, I know you done seen this. Come on, in religion, it is a religious blood type. In religion, I know you done seen these cups in the Catholic Church. You done seen these cups, but you wasn't scared in the Catholic Church. These cups everywhere in the Catholic Church. Come on now. In religion, you done seen this. What bloodline is this? Bloodline is this? The Christ conscious bloodline. Which one is the Christ conscious bloodline? He who has an ear, let him hear. It ain't the O. Sorry, O. It ain't the O. The Christ conscious bloodline. That only represent, they probably don't even be here on this live. They probably out there trying to save somebody's life right now. It's only 4% of the United States population with this bloodline. Anybody know? The smallest bloodline is not the O. It's not the B. I'm B. I'm the balancer. I'm not the Christ conscious energy. I'm the oracle. I'm the spiritual worker. Nobody know. Come on, y'all got to know this. There we go, J. Marie. It's blood type AB. Blood type AB. Trinice, yes. Oh, blood type AB represents water. Remember the water barrier. Right? Walking, symbolic of walking on water, symbolic of renewing the blood, turning water into wine. Come on, Christ conscious bloodline, water. So anytime you see cups on the deck, anytime you get a card that's letting you know, hey, something about your emotional world that you're going to have to deal with or change. It's letting you know the emotions behind whatever the question is on that particular reading. When you see a cup, we're talking about water. There we go. AB equals water. Emotional world. AB bloodline. All right, that's one. Let me put this up here. So we got the water. We got the water. We got water. Y'all with me on that? That's water. Let me see if I can find another element up in here. Okay, these are swords. These are swords right here. Is this 1 or 2 gold? These are swords right here. So when we're dealing with swords on a cup, on a card, you see the little swords on there? Swords. This is what this here card has, swords on it. It's different type of cards up in the deck. Swords. Swords are going to represent the mental world. The mental world. What bloodline is the brilliant one? What bloodline is the spiritual one. Mental world represents thought. What bloodline is the spiritual one? Mental mindset. All of these bloodlines represent the body of Christ. One body, just different members. What bloodline is that? The balancers. 10% of the United States population. What bloodline is that? B. There we go. There we go, Mel. There we go, Katina. There we go, Kelvin. B. The balancers. The balancers. Because, okay, so swords, think about it this way. Swords, what you got to do? You got to put the swords in the air. Air is the mental world. Thought. The nothingness. Thought. So B bloodlines are really in tune with thought. They're masterminds. They could see in other realms. Thought. They're thinking all the time. Thought. Thought. Okay? So we had the water. That was the water, the cups. Think about this one by you saying you put water in a cup. When you have a sword, this is a good cheat code of remembering. When you have a sword and you're fighting with a sword, you're fighting with air. If nobody over there, if you don't have a partner, that's you just hitting air. And air is going to be thoughts, B. All right, we got 2, but there's 4. Therefore. So let's see. Let me see if I can find another one. Here we go. This one here. Well, I'll use this one here. Pentacles. It's going to represent behavior. The element of this here is going to be earth. What bloodline are the earthy people? Where them earthy people at? These are the organizers. The little earthy people that really, really are good with plants and trees and gardens. They have the green thumb. Y'all should know this one here. Yeah, Miss Grateful. I was waiting to make sure Miss Grateful know this one here. Blood type A. So when you see this one here, or in the reading, if you see this here symbol, we're talking about earth. Because these people are really grounded and actually connected to this world so much. So that's why they have the green thumb. That's why they are mostly the farmers that's out here in Arizona. They are organized and need the little tractors be in the little section parked in you don't see no parking line, but they're just so straight and just so perfect that these people have a personality, a bloodline that's in order. They're connected to this world, this matrix, because of their bloodline, because of this energetic frequency. So when you see this here, the pentacles, we're talking about behavior. Anytime this card is flipped, we're talking about behavior. What are you going to change about your behavior is what spirit is going to be saying when this card come up. So spirit is saying, what you going to change about your emotions, or how you going to embody your emotions when we see water, right? Spirit is saying, when we see them swords, how you going to change your mind? You need to change your thoughts. It's time for you to be thinking a new thought to get the desires of your heart. Spirit is saying, when we get the pentacles, what about your behavior, because that matters too. When you see the pentacles, it's about behavior. And then we have the wands. Let me see if I can get a wand up in here. You got to know this here. To know thyself is to know God. To know thyself is to know God. Come on, wands. That's a sword. Now all of the pentacles coming up. Where my wands at? Come on, babe. Oh, here we go. Here go one. So the wands in my deck. The wands in my deck gonna look like this here. The wands in my deck. Now I'm gonna put up a sword and I'm gonna put up a wand. And I want you to see the difference though. You see that the sword on my deck has a little, almost like a tip where across, kind of like where you can hold it and look more narrow. But the wand is actually representing the fact that there's fire energy there. This here one here is the wand, fire energy. This one here is the sword. You see that over here on YouTube land? Okay, so we're talking about the last but not least, the wands. And so when we're talking about wand, we're talking about the energy or the fire. The fire. Like, so what blood type is this that got that energy that you know that they in the room? They got this, it's not a bad thing, but I'm going to say it like this here. They got that ego about themselves and that energy about themselves that you can't miss them. Even if you sleep.com, you know it's something about that person. What bloodline is that? There we go. There we go. Blood type O. Blood type O. There's some O's in this house. The Anunnaki blood type. The fire. And so you think about this here, these 4 cards that's in this deck. This is you, the 4 elements. So this is why I was telling you in the beginning of the video, when we talk about tarot and everything, I need you to take off your limited way of thinking, because the cards in the tarot deck is only telling you where you are as it pertains to your mental world, your emotional world, your behavior, or your energy. It ain't telling you you're going to hell. It ain't telling you no witchcraft, no hocus pocus type stuff. And even if it was telling you that stuff, there's still nothing to be afraid of, because everything in this realm is God. So the only thing that's missing from these 4 elements is going to be you. And so they have some cards in here. Wait, let me show you. Let me show you in here. I should have put this here in order. Give me a second. Let me show you. Let me show you how you start off, because you are here. You're represented here in these expressions of people. But I want to show you how. Here we go. Thank you. Wait, let me hold it all up together. And you see, the only thing that's going to be in the 78 deck of cards is going to be these 4 energies and you. You, when you get into consciousness. The Fool. The Fool. And it's called the Fool, but not in the bad way, not in a negative way, not in a you dumb kind of way. No. It's just that you just on the beginning of your journey. Because to find me, you gotta be at least the fool or past the fool realm, right? And so in the beginning of the journey, this zero start off. You see at the top the number. We're gonna be using numerology too. You see that number at the top? That number at the top is the start of your journey, the beginning of your journey. 0. So only thing in the deck gonna be cards from these 4 elements and a card that represents where you are in your spiritual journey. This here card represents that you just ready for adventure, that you ready for your spiritual journey to begin. And so the cards that have these here numbers at the top that represent people instead of elements, if it's representing people, it's just letting you know where you are in your spiritual walk to become the Christ conscious one. Ain't nothing else happening in this tarot deck, church folk. Ain't nothing else happening, but you are becoming. And so when I pull a card, it's going to be telling me where you are in your journey, what emotion, mental, behavior, or energy you need to embody to get to a desired outcome in your journey. And all of this is going to be predicated on the fact that we're using energy, the non-physical, which is 99.999% of all that there is, that often talks to you, walk with you, and guide you. For in him I live, I breathe, and have my beingness. This is just your beingness. He who has a ear, let him hear. So in order to understand tarot, you need to understand that there is nothing here for you to be afraid of, because I don't want to hear it. I'd rather you block me, because that means you ain't ready. The student should be ready. When the teacher show up, the student should be ready. If you ain't ready, that means you ain't a student over here. Get away from me. I know you're not. That's how this thing called life goes. And there's nothing to fear but fear itself. And fear is actually an expression of ignorance. We're going to be dealing with 4 elements and you on your journey. That's it. Yeah. So that's very, very, very important for you to know. I also want to share with you that some people along when they read, and I'm gonna fix this after I get off this here live because I just flipped this over. When they read, let me tell you, and I talk with my inner being about this because I talk to myself, and you can judge me if you want to, but baby, I be getting some good stuff from spirit, my inner being. And I told my inner being, I say, I'm not going to, or it would feel better to me to go forward with my cards and nothing in reverse. So this is something else I want you to know. I'm going to be doing my readings based upon all of my cards being uniformed and upright, instead of some of them being like this and some of them being like this, upside down. Because if I do upside down on some and up, or if I, how some people, I'm not going to do this all the way because I don't want to express my energy like this here. But I'm just giving you an example. You know how some people do like that there? No. You're not going to see. I'm not doing that with mine. And I'm going to explain that to you why, because you need to know this here. First off, the reason why I keep my cards upright is because when I lay them down, I want them to be faced at me. Some people will do their cards any other way, and there'll be some up and some down. You see how my number at the top over here and then a number at the bottom right here? And so that would mean that I would have to read you this card in reverse, for example. And so if there was the food card, you remember the food that I just explained to you that was on a journey and that was just carefree. He was on a journey ready for adventure. If it was upside down as I laid it on this table, then that would be me having to read the card to you and say, well, you're not ready for this spiritual journey ahead. I would have to read you the opposite of it. Why are you resisting the spiritual journey? Is it something about spirituality that you're afraid of? But I, on purpose, don't read backwards, because out of 78 cards in here, my thought process is that spirit could give me a card to let me know that you're not. I try not to, in my choice of word, I try to speak direct instead of using the not. So I try to not avoid, rather, reverse readings, because in here will tell you everything you need to know, and we don't have to go backwards. I like to move forward. It's just a preference. Some people go backwards, some people go forward, and they'll read in reverse and all that. I don't do all of that. So on purpose, that means on purpose, I'm not going to be flicking my cord like that there. And that's another thing that leads me to the next thing that I want to tell you about. This here is, I'm not going to step on no toes, but this is divine feminine energy, just to let you know. If you pay attention to other readers, most often than not, they are women. And the men that you see reading cards, they are the totality of God expressing what you all might look at as metrosexual type energy, kind of a little sassy, if you pay attention. You don't really see the hood dudes talking about, look here, come here, son, let me holler at you, my boy. You don't really see that, right? Because it is divine feminine energy. And what am I saying when I say divine feminine energy? I'm telling you that they're using the right side of their brain, the intuitiveness, right? The feminine side, the God brain. Okay? It takes the person that's doing this to be in tune with the feminine side of the brain, exuding feminine energy. And that don't mean that they're gonna have long nails, because I'm clearly not gonna be having no acrylic and all of this here just to fit the feminine. Feminine is not the look, it is the essence of the aura, the intuitiveness or the lack thereof, the ability to see to other realms and read you even without a card. You see? And so with feminine energy comes flow. And so the shuffle process, just a preference for me, I'm not going to be chaotic with my cards because I'm dealing with spirit. I'm in tune with intuitiveness, divine energy. So this matters. A lot of y'all in the physical reality kind of like you got from them little, y'all like some of y'all, and there ain't nothing wrong with this. Everybody at a different level. Y'all like when, that's a love card. Oh, where he at? Oh, that's my man. Y'all like when people say, that's, you got a man. oh girl, and he gonna da 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 looking for you outside of you. But I want to let you know that these cards here, this journey here, is about you. The reading here is about you, where you stand. Now, there's really only one card that lets you in this deck. As all the people with them love reading channels, I'm not trying to step on nobody's hustle, but there's only really one card in here that tells you about this so-called twin flame. But guess what you got to do though first? Mate with yourself. The card still gonna show you, look, you gotta embody this mindset, mental. You gotta have this here emotional world. But you gotta have this here behavior. You gotta have this here energy or fire, because it's always gonna be talking about you. Okay? So this is a feminine principle to be respected with feminine divine energy, flow, intuitiveness, mindfulness. People can get ghetto if you want to, but you ain't gonna get no ghetto over. Yeah. If you're looking for ghetto and you're looking for yourself outside of yourself, oh, you need to get up out of here. This is about discovery of self. So much so that you start off as the fool and you end up being impactful to the entire world. So it surpasses you getting in a relationship for the simple idea of being in a relationship. It's about the ultimate relationship with mankind. Because we are collective consciousness. And you should ask yourself on the journey when you have these things called manifestation, is this for the greater good of mankind? Because see, when you get in a position where you for the greater good of mankind, everything coming. Because you are necessary. The universe is going to make way for you and the desires of your heart because you are needed in this realm. Health, wealth. Oh, you ain't got to worry about that thing because you're in alignment with a big old grand scheme of it all called the collective consciousness. And when you alignment with this here energy, everything gonna flow to you. You're kept. You done got married and don't even realize it because you done married. You are the bride and the groom. You are the married your left brain hemisphere with your right brain hemisphere. And now you have an impact on the entire world, not just by your spoken word. No. By your expression of your thought. By your ability to see through the eyes of God, by your behavior, by your energy, by your emotions. See, I don't have to come on here dolled out for y'all. Never. I do sometimes for me, but never do I have to fit the mold of what you look at mankind to be like, because I understand if you just stay here a couple of minutes, I'm going to captivate your mind. I'm going to stimulate something deeper inside of you because energetically I have the power to do so. You're going to be sitting up there wondering, and you're going to wonder enough till you're going to get out of your limited way of thinking into the boundless mental plane of your mind and your thoughts. So, any questions about tarot reading, about this energy, about this journey that we're about to go on? Any questions? Hey, Tangela, thank you for being here. Hey, True. Okay, I can see better here. Oh, good. I'm happy for you. I know that personality is also based on the month and the date of birth, not solely based on blood types, because if not, that would make too many people the same. Yes, you're right about that. You're right about that. But, wait, let me see. 1 second, I'm coming. But, the personalities, as it pertains to month, everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. So as it pertains to month, yeah, you can look at the month, and the month has a number assigned to it. So the number, as far as numerology is concerned, has a meaning too. But the bulk of the energy is going to come from the bloodline of that person. And when you understand that bloodline, now you understand the personality of that group of people that represent in the body of Christ. So this is why I talk so much in past videos about your blood type and why it is important. Because your blood type has memory. Just like, so you have blood type. Your blood, you ain't the first person that had, for example, me. I ain't the first person in my family that had been a blood type B. And because it has memory in itself alone, I draw power from it. It is my DNA. So I've been told many times that I am just like so-and-so who was before me. And she was a goddess. She was in tune with her spiritual side. And so everybody that in my family, they say, if that ain't another reincarnated so-and-so, I don't know what it is. Because that same blood flows through and you think about this mitochondria DNA. You think about lifelines like that there, and you realize the importance as it pertains to personality. Now, I never met this lady who is an ancestor, who was part of my family, that all my grandma and my mom and my sister, my oldest sister, and all of the older elders in the family know of, that say that I act like, look like, have legs like, have color like, and are spiritual like. I never met this lady, but I have a personality. I have a yearning for my spirituality like her. So the bloodline carries way more weight than the month that I was born, in that sense right there. So this is why bloodline is so important. And then to surpass what month I was born as well, so what also surpasses that is the past lives. And so when we're talking about past life, we're talking about the ancestor herself that I'm speaking of. So her past life and what she did, the magic that she performed, I picked that up. Then on top of that, I picked up the bloodline of that. So those two things are inside of me. So I am my ancestor and I am my ancestor bloodline. I was born in a certain month that she probably might not be born in. So the month, it has its little kind of personality, but it's just a bigger energetic, because these two things, whether I'm talking about past life and DNA, some of that is in me. But the month I was born, not so physically in me as the two. You see what I'm saying there? So the month, here we go. This is going to get us a little bit off, but I'll tell you this here. The month that you was born on, it plays a weight as it pertains to like cell salts. If you understand anything about that aspect, you sound like a wise one that know about that. So in your 9 months, they have 12 months in the zodiac year. So in the 9 months, you're picking up these 9 cell salts. But then everybody in their journey, because you're going to be empty on something. Our life is predicated on us needing source or getting to know ourselves. So in the 9 months, you got all of these here cell salts, and this has to do kind of like with eating right for your blood type, the nourishment, the things that you're lacking. But then in the 3 months that you don't, them cell salts that you don't have, those are the ones you lack. And so if you know anything about the blood type connection course, the woke is F course, the ones that you lacking is the ones that I put pretty much for your supplements that you, because you was born in this here month, you lack within your 9 months of being carried by your mom, lack these here supplements right here, these here 3. And so when you look at the supplements that is needed for your blood type, those are the things that now you have to get outside of yourself, because they're not embedded in you based upon the month that you were born. You have to go outside of yourself and you have to take and swallow that herb every so often so that you could be replenished in that particular cell salt. That's where months come into play. Cell salt and minerals type things. That's a different topic though. Yeah. How do I truly position myself for this journey? I truly want to be ready. What you just said, how do I position myself? You ask questions. Inner being, how do I position myself? Inner being, do I have everything that I need for this journey? And because you show me what it is that I need for to obtain more mental clarity. Because here's the thing, back to the cards, the energy of the card. One of the energies is going to be your mental world, your mind, your thought. And through your thought, reader, you never ask yourself a question that you don't know the answer to. So when I say you don't ever ask a question that you don't know the answer to, what I'm really saying is your physical, your 0.01, you, reader, in the matrix, you never ask your inner being, which is 99.9% all that there is of you, your spiritual side of you. You never ask it a question that it don't already know the answer to, because it is connected to infinite intelligence, all knowing, the Akashic records, the Lamp Book of Life. So you ask questions. Ask. This is why it says, ask and you shall receive. Knock and the door shall be open. But some people ain't asking. Because clearly, anybody that knock, the door is open. And anybody that asks through thought, they shall receive. It's just energy. There's nothing to do. You should rely on them for those four elements with everything, though. The four elements will lead you there. All right? Yeah. I was very emotional today for some reason. I think I was releasing pressure. It's always an energy exchange. It's always energetic reasons why we become emotional. Because we, like I showed you a minute ago, that fool card, we are that fool that's on a journey. And on a journey through the game of life, we're learning lessons. You're going to learn this lesson. And sometimes the journey can be overbearing. And like the devil, per se, that devil card that I showed you, that's part of the aspect of being on that journey. So you start off on this journey, you eager, you want to go on a journey of being woke. But this journey, in the midst of the journey, you realize, wait, I gotta let go of old thoughts, of traditions, of the way that I used to think. Wait, hold up, I gotta nourish myself. Oh, wait, hold up, there's a whole lot of skeletons I had in my closet. Hold up, wait, I have to encourage my own self here. Oh my God, I have to create a union and create teamwork with my reflections. Oh my God, I'm gonna feel down on myself. Yeah, you're gonna feel all of that because you're on a journey for your inner calling, to fulfillment of yourself. So yeah, sometimes you're gonna feel pressure. Sometimes there's going to be release. Sometimes you go, today is Moon Day. Of course you're gonna feel pressure. You see where I'm going here? It's Moon Day. Moon Day. Yeah. Moon Day, and y'all, I'm retired. I don't even be looking at days of the week like that. Moon Day has everything to do with feminine energy. You get into your emotions every moon day. It's Moon Day. Moon is feminine energy. So a lot of people be tired or feel pressure or feel like they need to release on Moon Day naturally anyway. So that lets you know that you're feeling the energies that be. You're feeling your emotions, your cup energy. Moon Day. That's a beautiful unfoldment right there. Yeah. Because I know a few people that are O blood type. Wait a minute, I missed something. This is part 2. Hey, hon. Hey, Tangela. Thank you for being here. Let me go back up. I know that personality. Okay, I read that part. And then then Candy goes further down and say, because I know a few people that are O blood type. And we possess a lot of other traits and characteristics that you say other blood types have. Yeah, because they're two different O blood types. There's an O negative and an O positive. Remember I did a live, Candy? I did a live and there was a younger lady on a live, and she was talking about she was a people pleaser, right? And I was like, and when she told me about being a people pleaser, I heard that, but I kept listening to her. And in her story, she also said, not only am I a people pleaser, but I know that I have a gift. And so when I heard gifts, I thought about blood type B. Because we normally be the ones that know of our gift, that express our gift. And I was like, well, so what type of you? You a B? And she was like, no, I'm an O. And I was like, oh, this is why. Because for me, knowing blood types, the reason why I went with B is because she said that she had a gift. Spiritual gift is what she was saying. And most blood type B's are the spiritual ones.
So I went to that. But I had forgotten about the fact that she said she was a people pleaser. Now, see, they have blood type O negative. They're the ones that are really kind of like, I'm not being ugly here, but for lack of any other word, they could be a little braggadocious, egotistical, right? But then they're the blood type O positive. Those are the people pleasers. What do you want? What can I do for you? How can I serve you? How can I serve you? Now, they still kind of like ego type driven, but they're kind of like the passive, kind of like ego type driven, because they really want to be of service to please people. All blood type O's aren't egotistically driven. They aren't all about ego, but they kind of like on that ego plane, but on that ego plane represents different frequencies. The negative blood type, sometimes they can't shut up. They don't want to listen. I'm not being ugly if you want on here. They don't want to listen. You really have to break things down. You got to get kind of like charts and graphs to talk to them, because they mind work that they write and you can't tell them nothing sometimes, like, right? And then they have the old positive that are more passive. They like, you could tell them stuff. They want to be of service to mankind. So even with that in mind, you see, yeah, they possess a lot of the traits and characters of other, because they have other blood types that could be a people pleaser. Because AB could be a people pleaser, right? AB bloodline, that's a Christ conscious bloodline, and they're about what would Jesus do. So it could be kind of tricky if you don't really know, pay attention to all the key factors with them. It could be tricky because you'll be like, wait, you like to do the what would Jesus do thing. You are AB, and then wait, this is a O positive. You kind of like a people pleaser too. So who are you? So yeah, they do share some of those characteristics, but you really got to pay attention to all of them and not just one of them that the people be speaking about. Mel says, yeah, Mel understands this to be true. O positive over here. Now go Pammy. Pammy, can I get a confirmation? Is that saying Pammy? Yeah, Pammy. Can I get a confirmation? Some those are positive ones. They like to please. They're not as egotistically driven as the O negatives. Pammy said, yes, thank you, Pammy. Thank you. Codependence and unhealthy attachments. Yeah, like that. Right. Being a people pleaser. Oh, that's beautiful. So I'm going back up a little bit. I see a question up here. How do you clear the cards when reading for your son? Reading for your son. We did that in the beginning of the video. It don't matter who you're reading for. You clear the card however feels good for you. I have all kind of tools up here. You can clear the cards like this here. Where if you have something like that, you can hit this here bowl. If you have something like that, you can hit this here sound right here, or your I got my singing bowls over there. If you have something like that, it can be through sound, is what I'm saying. It can be through air, clear. It can be through thought, clear. It can be through clear. Whatever feels good to you, do that. Do that. You have gifts. Yes, I know you do, baby. I know you do. I know you do. It's in your blood. It's in your blood. All right. So let me see. Did I miss anything else? Somebody says teach. Yeah. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. Okay. I went further up. I was just checking. I'm going back to the bottom. If I missed your question on there, you got to write it again because I missed it. I need charts and graphs. You're so on point. Yeah. Some of them old, that's how your mind works. And I know this because I'm the creator of the blood type connection course. I consult with these people. I'm an introvert. I tap into these people's mind in the way that they process things. Everybody don't process like you do, but the beauty, you gotta find the beauty in all of this that I'm sharing with you. That is one God, one faith, one baptism. That all we're talking about is the body of Christ. The body of Christ didn't want to come forth and you be all ego. No, he wanted to be able to please mankind too, as a negative or blood type and a positive. He didn't want to come through being just a negative P. Oh, it's positive into to supercharge itself. What battery do you know that don't have a negative and a positive side to it? So that's why mankind have a negative and positive side to O's, A's, B's, and AB's. But together, we represent God. Okay? Yeah, you're excellent teacher. Oh, thank you. Hey, it's at 8 hour. Yeah, I have kids. Yeah. What does it mean? Wait, they got a glare on here. Let me bring that down. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's a good question right there, Pammy. So Pammy is asking over here. What does it mean that I am from Anunnaki? The Anunnaki blood type. Well, it means that you are just like the original mankind in the physical reality. Your blood type is like the old ancient bloodline. It is represented in the way that you eat based upon your blood type connection and the foods that you must consume. It's represented in your energy, you being connected to sun. Even though we all are children of the sun, Ra, the sun energy outside, and it activates us all, but you are connected in a different ancient way. It's an ancient tribe or group of people like the giants. They talk about this in the biblical text, the giants that were walking across the face amongst the deep or whatever, like, right? It's the God, the original God. That's what it means. And so when I be saying, that there's some O's in this house, there's some O's in this house. It's an honor to be amongst that blood type because that's the original bloodline. Everything have frequency, energy, and vibration. So in the beginning, of this so-called mankind, that original blood was an Anunnaki blood. And then we made lives after lives after lives. Other kingdoms and civilizations came and fulfilled and mixing and matching with different bloodlines, created energies or beings from other places. But you were pretty much the original one. Yeah. And so you represent fire. You represent fire element. You're gifted, you're intuitive, and you're strong-willed because you came forth in physical form to kind of like set the tone, the foundation of what life underneath the expression of mankind was going to be like. And so all of them, that's why them hierarchies and things that we achieve are built and predicated upon from you, because that's how you think. You think about achievements. You think about how I'm going to get this matrix together. What am I going to build? What am I going to leave behind? Them pyramids and all of the things, all them different statues and different things that show your intuitiveness, your strong will, and your gifts are still upon the land right now. That's pretty much in a nutshell what it means. But you keeping your blood pure is really important for you because that allows you to walk in your gift even the more. That allows your aura to extend a little bit more than, maybe, I guess, let's see, average maybe 20 feet, whatever. Yours could extend no more than that if you are purified within, because you already naturally, based upon your bloodline, could walk up in the room and people don't really understand why, because they're not tapped into spirit. They don't understand why you feel this way, like at the gym or when you outside or when you at work or you just shutting up in the audience, why you feel like this. Some people will say, I felt threatened around you. And it don't have nothing to do with the dreadlocks. It don't have nothing to do. Sometimes you blacker than black, purple black. And I mean that with the utmost respect because I love your skin. But sometimes they're really, really dark hued beings, or sometimes they really, really have long dreadlocks. They don't have nothing to do with them blocks. It don't have nothing to do with that dark purple skin. But it has everything about to do with the blood. Because we're wrestling not against this here body, but it's the principalities, it's that DNA, it's that the past lives that other people feel resting up on you. But you don't feel it. They feel it. You feel it when you get to know yourself, when you purge your bloodline. Until then, you wonder why people being hard on you, why everybody treading around you. You don't know yourself, why I don't fit in, why I feel uncomfortable, because your soul is looking for expansion. It's saying, learn, get to know yourself. This is a game of life. This is what you came for to do. That's why. Know thyself. There you go. There you go. Because the frequency is high. Yeah, the old blood type has a very, very, very high frequency. And they don't have to be woke. They frequency high when they sleep that time. But and it's so high, check this out. It's so high that for a seer like me that see O's all the time, especially back in New Orleans, Louisiana, a seer like me that see sleep O's, I just sit back in awe. They got a lot of sleep old bloodlines that's in projects and different things at their lower self. They're gods. They gods, but at this time and moment in their life, they ain't tap into the mental, emotional, behavior, or energetic realm of their world just yet. So they gods in a project, probably on Section 8 or whatever. And I will frequent, because I am a seer, I will frequent and actually back there in New Orleans, this was a state project because the sewer system was around here. But I will frequently pass in that neighborhood and I will blow at the ones that I know. When they would play against my children, when my children played basketball and stuff, and they will play with the so-called hood schools, because a lot of the O's are in a little project, in a little hood environment, and don't know nothing about this stuff. And when they would play the games against my children, or if I'm passing in the project, I would just be blowing my horn and I'll just be smiling, I'll just be at awe. And when my son was like, Mom, what team you on? I'm rooting for everybody, son, because what I'm saying is energetically, there's an O right there. I gotta cheer for that God right there. He don't know it just yet. But I see that God, I see that Anunnaki footprint. I feel that energy right there. So I'm cheering for him too, son. Nothing against you, but I'm cheering for him too. Mom, you don't even know that little boy. Oh, yeah, I know him because I know myself. And now I could identify the gods around me. And so when I pass through the project, though it be smelling bad, though sometimes they, you gotta, some people would say you gotta lock your doors when you're passing through here. No, this the gods up in here. I know God. This is a beautiful journey, y'all. The game of life is so sweet once you get to know yourself. It's so sweet. It is the sweetest story, the most beautiful game that you ever could possibly play. It'll take you on so many adventures within your mind, and you'll see people in different lights, all based upon your knowing of you. Not you getting to know me, you getting to know you is the beginning of it all. Yeah, I feel at home with you, and I don't know why. Yeah, that's that energy that I'm talking about, babe. Hey, sunshine. Yeah. Look at the O's showing up. Look at the B's showing up. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Oh, wow, I get sad, tired, and grumpy when we have no sun. Yeah, I know you do. Because you remember this here, we're children of the sun, but that sun that's in that sky, in this matrix, trust and believe that sun has a soul. So you connected to the soul of the sun. Know that they call the sun your energy network. Solar plex. Solar, you got that solar energy, that soul out there. And then you got this solar energy in here. Solar plex, the fire within. So you got fire within, akin to why you could eat meat, blood type O, the highest amount of hydrochloric acid than other blood type, because it breaks down your food. You got fire within, yeah. You represent the fire element, blood type O, and then you got fire sun in this simulated environment called the matrix that's activating your dormant DNA. You got all these tools assisting you on your becoming for you to get to know yourself. But when you go on the journey, though, will you pay attention to the four elements? That's your part in the story to do. Could you pay attention to your mind, your thoughts? Can you pay attention to your behavior? Can you pay attention to your emotions and embody the totality of God? You already got the fire. The fire is the energy that you already naturally emit, or should I say, you are naturally radiating this energy already, blood type O. Already. You got to pick up the other elements, though. Okay? That's right. Recognizing your thoughts. Definitely. Taking the sun in small doses. Definitely. And the darker hue, the longer you can set with the sun, the longer you can set with your soul that's assisting you in your awakening process. If you're a darker hue. And I often, just being funny, because I know who I am and what I came for to do in this here realm and at this time for mankind, I often joke, and I never get this here answer. I often joke with my inner being, and I'll be like, you know what? I see that I'm brown here, and I really think I'm supposed to be like purple, black. Like, I think I know you are all knowing infinite intelligence, but I'm thinking you can make a mistake because I should be black purple. And I shall be a blood type. Oh, you got me for mankind, giving back to the world, being impactful to the world. But look at me, I'm brown. What's up with that? And I just kind of like laugh about it, being, teasing about it. And then at the same time, setting myself up for another lifetime where I will embody that bloodline, where I will be that hue of skin. But I say that because I'm at awe for all of its innate abilities to tap into source energy. Don't sleep, blood type. Oh, if you are underneath the sound of my voice, don't sleep on getting to know you. I know it's a different way that I think, because I know that I think different from you or than you. But sit with yourself and you try to understand what I'm saying, because you need this part of you. You need this spiritual essence of you to embrace your totality. You need my mental, is what I'm saying. You need to understand my mind. That's why I asked you in the beginning of the video to come out of your limited way of thinking, because you need to understand the mental world like I do, because I'm in tune with the spiritual essence. You in tune with fire. That's a beautiful thing. But you need to understand the spirit. This is why you're drawn to me in a nutshell. This is why all blood types are drawn to the blood type B, because of the mindfulness, because of the thought, the way that we think. Because I'm not somebody that's going to be at battle with you. I'm not somebody that's going to fight and butt heads with you, because I don't exude that same type of old energy. I don't care about the things in this world like you care about them. I care about your soul. I care about the greater good for mankind. So I'm going to be a little different, and I'm going to think a little different. But I encourage you to pay attention to the things that I'm saying, and just allow it to penetrate in your mind. You don't have to make my thoughts your thoughts. I'm not saying that. But allow my thoughts to kind of penetrate in your mind. Because what happens when you allow my thoughts to penetrate in your mind expands and you become greater. And there go your mental world expanding. There go the air element working for you. There go you making the air element an element that you know how to now manipulate, because you'll open up your mind to do so. That's very important, not just for O's. That's important for all blood types. Mindfulness is key, because this is an environment that's predicated upon consciousness, collective consciousness, super consciousness. Yes, I really need guidance, and here it is. That's the fire. That's the fire energy. That's the fire energy. So, with that being said, those of you that came early, boy, I had me some fire energy. I don't know if y'all missed that video earlier today, if y'all still here that came earlier, but I'm going to tell you one thing. I was at the gym earlier today, and I was just working out. I was just running. I've been running a mile a day. I run a mile a day, and then I get on my little rebounder for 15 minutes a day, and I do my little lifting and stuff. I was just working out. I was just in my zone, and this energy greater than I ever have experienced was like, you gotta go live. And I'm like, I don't even know what I'm talking about, which I never really know what I'm talking about. I just sit here and just let my inner being speak to me. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go live. Let me go home. And I was still sweating from the gym. And I sat here, and it was about talking about the 4 elements, the live that I went on earlier today. And during the live, y'all, I kid you not, it felt with all of my knowing, felt like fire was on me. Like I was literally on fire. Like earth, like my behavior, like I was grounded, like water. Like I felt in the middle of the video, I started drinking, and I was like, I need some water, like air. It's like I was breathing so much air, and I needed to digest some water. It was all, and when I got off the live, my inner being told me this here: you were embodying all of the elements. And I sat down and I was like, that's why. But it was so much. And I got off the live, and when my inner being, at first, as soon as I got off the live, I was so on fire, it felt like. And I had so much of wind. I had so much of water. I had so much of the elements upon me that I got on my rebounder just to jump, just to bring myself down, like to calm, because that's how high I felt, so high that if I would jump on a rebounder, that I'll kind of like catch up with myself. And then after I felt a little bit settled after jumping, because of that energy that my inner being put on me. And it told me, because you was embodying all of the elements at that time. And it was aching to an ascension. See, we have several ascensions here. I want you to be used to the idea that you are ascending. Like just how I showed you that full card and how I told you that you are the conscious one on the journey. Well, the journey starts at the card number zero for your spiritual essence. But you go through all of these phases, and along these phases come ascensions. Ascensions is almost aching to say in layman's terms, if I could say to you, a upgrade. Upgrade, a welcoming into another realm of thought, of consciousness. Yeah, a badge of honor, so to speak, right? And so the ascension happens within you, but it's almost aching to now your mind is open on a totally different level. When I was a child, I spoke as a child, I behaved like a child, I thought like a child. But when I ascended, when I became, I put away those childish things. And so you get multiple ascensions happen while here in the physical reality. But the true blessing and the true bliss, the true thing based upon this age of Aquarius and on this age of knowing is what we're about to walk into, this golden age where we will ascend like the Christ conscious one did, but still yet be in the physical ascending, meaning we don't have to die. We just become resurrected and keep on moving on through the ascension. And so this is that pivotal moment where we're going to realize that we're eternal beings. Oh, death, where is thy sting? Oh, grave, where is thy victory? This is his story and her story in the making, the becoming of gods. The becoming of gods. He who has an ear, let him hear. Everybody not going to get there. I love this so much. Yeah, I love this too. That's right. L no. L no. L Ward no. Yes, teaching that thing. Yes. Yeah. Some of y'all know this. Some of y'all, you're getting it. But some, you know this. You know this to be true because you are in tune. You're intuitive. You're in tune, connected to your first eye. Not these right here. These right here lead you astray. But this one right here, part of your birthright, the eye that you used before these eyes could see, the eye that you will always use even after these eyes are no more part of this avatar self. You will always use this eye. You will always function using these four elements that I'm speaking of. And you will always be, because your beingness shall always be, because you're God. Woo, Erica. Hey, Erica. I'm here for the first time. I'm happy you're here, Erica. I shit. Tuned in, tapped in, turned on, Al says. Yes. So that was my second part. Thursday, we did the first part of the cards and letting you know that I will be speaking of tarot cards on this Shadow Realm session. I come here every day on Monday through Friday, rather, during the week at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. Right now, it's 5:34 Mountain Time. And I do these sessions. It's called the Shadow Realm session. And I never really planned for what I'm going to say, but in my mind, I told my inner being, or I asked rather my inner being, let me break it down to these people, what we really do. And I won't just jump into reading people and, and let them be in a blind, because this is another way that you can find a real spiritual person that's tapped into other realm. They're going to educate you along the way. Because they understand that they once was a student and they're still a student. They're forever going to be a student because they're forever learning. But they want to leave some gems behind because they almost like a teacher. That teacher in school, like they be proud of their babies when their babies graduate. And so being in the spiritual realm, I want to be able to teach you, because I understand if I teach you and you become powerful, that the only thing that's going to happen to me is I'm going to become greater. When you become greater, I become greater. When you move, I move. So I'm not going to withhold anything from you. I'm going to give you my overflow. And so I told my inner being, I want to start and give them the gems that I really need them to know, the foundation, so they don't be fearful, that they could open up their mind. And so giving me the words to say, and I'm still that little girl inside of here. Sometimes it might look as though I'm not speaking, but I'm always hearing. I'm still that little girl that was prophesied in church years ago, the book of Jeremiah. No. If you know anything about the book of Jeremiah, in the book of Jeremiah, he was prophesied that he would speak amongst the nations. And he's like, no, but I'm just a child. I don't know what to say. And so my inner being often reminds me, no, I just need you to turn on the lights and sit down because I'm going to give you the words. And so when you operate, when you get to this connection with your inner being, trust it. Trust it to the point where you could put money on it, where you could put your life on it. I am so confident right now in my inner being, what my inner being tell me to do, that if my inner being was to tell me to go lay down in the highway, busy highway, I'll be like, all right. In my mind, in my thought process, I will lay there knowing that my inner being will lift me up. At least I stumble. Yeah. Because I trust it. And I want you to get to that place in your journey, every last one of you, no matter what blood type you are, that you trust yourself. You trust yourself. Not things outside of yourself, yourself. And so this is a beautiful tool to help you get there, because when you begin to see, when I begin to read other people, or even if you already read and you read yourself and you look at them cards and you have a good understanding of what you're doing, you'll be like, dang, I didn't know so much wisdom would be up in here as it pertained to myself. And I want you to understand that. Not so that you can become a tarot reader, nothing like that. I want you to understand yourself, God, your ins and outs, for the edification of the body of Christ, the church. At least you turn it into a den of thieves when it was supposed to be the house of prayer. All the power resides within each one of us. Just be still. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, oh, they got another. Oh, Erica is a blood type A. I'm a blood type B. Happy that you're here. Be positive. Happy that you're here. I'm happy all of you all came. Like I say, I don't know what we're talking about tomorrow on a Shadow Realm session. When I show up, my inner being show up. And I just trust that my inner being give me the message for you each time that I show up here. And I trust that you learn. I trust that you share. I trust that you like the video. I trust, because I want you all to create the domino effect. And then you created the domino effect by you trusting that the inner being within me, the God within me, is reverencing the God in you and respecting the mind of you and giving you what you need. Create a domino effect that others can wake up and do the same and the same and the same and the same and the same. Just like I choose not to be stingy with the information that my inner being shares with me to give to you and teach you along your way. I want you not to be stingy with your reflection, because you too have assimilated environment. You too are the savior in your environment. And they're waiting for you to save you so that you can turn around and save them. That's what this game of life is all about. So share. As you learn from me, share with other people. Share the live, tap the screen, do what you join the newsletters, stay connected is all I'm saying. Because a kingdom divided against itself, it cannot stand. So I'm teaching you this here so you can know that you don't be separate from these elements. Don't run away from this and let other people penetrate in your mind that this is some kind of hoodoo, voodoo, the black magic, something that you should be afraid of. Because I said a kingdom divided against itself, it cannot stand. Come in the room Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. Arizona Mountain Time, to get to know yourself. Because getting to know yourself is getting to know God. Thank you, inner being. This video was from my heart to yours. Y'all be blessed now. Goodbye. Woo, that was